is the boiled rice. For that is what is offered in yajna. The 5-course meal, 7-course meals and all doesn't go into the yajna. All that goes into yourself. What goes into yajna is just the boiled rice. That is what is known as havihi. It can be rice, it can be grains, it can be ghee, or a combination, depending upon the type of yajna. The act of offering is Brahman. That the havis is Brahman, offered by Brahman in the fire of Brahman. Fire is the offering, the oblation, the fire, the karta. The oblation, the act of offering, that which is, then comes the offering, the oblation, the fire, the offerer, is what yajna is all about. Brahman is the aim, purpose of doing all this. For what this yajna karma is done? For the sake of attainment of moksha. Now, this is the ritual yajna. Havis. Havihi, the oblation. This is the ritual yajna. Now, what is this ritual yajna got to do with the battlefield? Surely Krishna is not telling Arjuna, go and start one. Surely Krishna is not telling Arjuna, go and start one yajna ritual now. No, he's not saying start a fire worship. When the bows and when the arrows are ready, when the fight is about to begin, you can't say start one. You can't say start one fire ritual. He's saying the idea of fire ritual, the idea of yajna is that which you have to bring into this battlefield. For Arjuna, life's activity is battlefield. Similarly, every human being has their field of activity. Arjuna's field of activity is the battlefield. Similarly, every human being has their particular field of activity. In that particular field of activity, bring in the attitude of yajna. The fire ritual yajna serves as a reminder. He is not saying don't do this yajna, nor is he saying it is a superstition. It serves as a reminder. Always we need to understand that the mind has a tendency to forget. Therefore, you need constant reminders. The mind has a tendency to forget. It tends to forget the higher because it is getting involved in the worldly activities. Forgetting not loss of memory, not forgetfulness in that sense. It gets so tempted and carried away by performing the actions based on likes and dislikes. It forgets. Therefore, you need reminders. The traditional the traditional orthodox fire ritual is called Agnihotra. So, in the commentary, Adi Shankaracharya says, Karma Yoga, Yajna Karma means Agnihotram Juhoti. Morning and evening do this. Morning and evening you need this reminder. Not the literal sitting and doing. There is one class of people who may sit and do it also literally, because that becomes their field of activity. But what it means universally is You need a reminder to perform you need a reminder of a few things. What are the few things that you need reminder? Number one, you need a reminder that you have a field of activity. Number two, stick to that field of activity. Don't look at others, don't compare and try to shift to somebody else's field of activity. Everybody always wanted to do that. They always see somebody and they want to do that field of activity. In fact, the problem, one of the major problems of today's generation is there is no field of activity. Everybody thinks they can do. Anybody and everybody thinks whatever they want to do, they can do. Don't we have the freedom, sir? We have the choice of action. So we will do what we. Now, that field of activity in Radhaliye, we have Yajna Karma is missed. Are you able to follow? So everybody has a particular field of activity. First reminder you need is that field of activity. So all that you need to know is you need to stick to that field of activity. A business person need not look at the power of the politician and him wanting to become the politician. The politician need not look at the wealth of the business person and him wants to become a business person. A teacher need not look at the power and the wealth of the others and he also wants to gain that power and the wealth. This is what is known as moving away from the field of activity. Are you able to follow? Yajna karma is very, very important. Field of activity and the field of activity we have to start. The field of what is the field of activity? Moving from one field to the other without recognizing that I need to stick to my field of activity. In that field of activity, I need to bring in this principle of Yajna Karma. If you say this today, they say this is what is known as discrimination. This is what is known as not giving opportunities for others. All this is very nice to hear. All this is very nice to do. But what is the end result? See, when everybody does everything, what is the end result? Total confusion. Everybody is agitated. Are you able to follow? When you move away, when you move away from your field of activity, you will be agitated. When everybody moves away from their field of activity, there will be a collective agitation. Today, there is a collective agitation. When I say collective agitation means whatever be the field of activity is, they are agitated in that field of activity. Are you able to follow? Whatever be the field of activity, they are agitated in that field of activity. So there is a collective agitation. So there is an overall agitation irrespective of the field of activity that everybody is engaged in. If you honestly look at it, everybody is engaged in some field of activity or the other, but that field of activity is not giving them the desired benefit. Why? Because the first principle of Yajna is violated. What is the first principle of Yajna? Your field of activity. It begs the question, how does one know the field of activity? How does one know the field of activity, sir? You will be naturally gravitating towards that. There will be a natural gravitation towards that. You will not be that worried about the result that it produces, the material benefits that it gives you. Then only these are the indications with which you know that it is your field of activity. Number one is there will be a natural gravitation. Number two is you will not be that much concerned about the material benefits that that field of activity is giving you. Today, the first question that we ask in any field of activity is what? The first question and the last question and the only question is salary package we will discuss first. First, let us discuss the salary package and then we will discuss all the rest. It means the field of activity is not the concern. What has become of concern is what gives you material benefit, and where will you get more material benefit? Go there. Wherever you get more material benefit, go there. If cheating and stealing and exploiting gives you more material benefit, what should you do? Do that first, acquire, and then do prayaschitta and get rid of the, and then do prayaschitta and get rid of Adhikdan sir. After retirement, we will go to all the pilgrimage places and we will do all the rituals and everything and get rid of all the papa karma, all the 50-60 years of exploitation. I will do prayaschitta for the next of the 10-15 years, sir. First principle of yajna karma starts with the field of activity. That's the kund, the field of activity. That is the kund. So you need to remember that you need to function in your field of activity. But very difficult to digest this field of activity because of comparison. What is the comparison? The comparison is your field of activity always looks slower to you. Somebody's field of activity looks faster. Are you able to follow? இது வந்து Murphy's law மாதிரி. You have heard of Murphy's law, no? He says the queue in which you are standing appears to be the slowest always, he says. Supposing if there are 10 queues, you randomly you will go and stand in one particular queue and you look at the other queues, those queues seems to move faster than your queue. So what will you do? You will quickly want to jump to that queue. So you are jumping from one to the other to the other to the other. You miss going. You miss getting to the counter. Are you able to follow? The first problem in the field of activity is not to compare. Arjuna wanted to compare. Arjuna wanted to compare. That's why he's saying, Jayasi chet karmanaste madabuttir janardana tatkim karmani goremam niyojayasi keshava. Why are you asking me to take the slowest path to moksha? I want instant moksha, and the slowest path to moksha is action, and the fastest path to moksha is knowledge. You take the fastest path, and why are you asking me to go through the slower path? Correct? This is Arjuna's problem. This is the problem of everybody, for which Krishna is saying, restrict to your field of, first thing is stick to your field of activity. You are not able to stick to your field of activity because you compare. You compare. You compare. What is the comparison? Comparison is always in relation to faster and quicker. See, whenever you compare, what are you comparing? You compare to that which is, see, when you say, when you compare, what are the factors with which you compare? Comparison is that which will give you something which is faster, quicker, instant. Yeah. That which is faster, quicker, and instant makes you to believe you should do that. What people don't realize is it is very important to go through a preparatory process. Long back, I remember one of the dining table discussion, Swamiji was saying this example. A person is suffering with a disease. He goes to the doctor, and the doctor has diagnosed surgery, and he says, immediately do surgery. The doctor says, no. 3 weeks later only I can do surgery, because you are not yet prepared for the surgery. What is the preparation? Your diabetes is high, your this is high, your that is high. So unless all that is taken care of, you can't be taken to the You can't be, though surgery is the cure. Are you prepared for the surgery? The field of activity prepares you. The field of activity prepares you for the surgery. What is the ultimate surgery? Ultimate surgery is asanga shastrena dridena chitva, which is going to say in the 15th chapter. But you need a preparation for the surgery. Yeah, you need a preparation for the surgery. And everybody says, I want instant surgery. Surgery is the cure, no? Cut me, because he wants immediate freedom from the pain. He wants instant freedom from the pain. Doctor says, I can, if I cut open, if I cut you open now, you will not get instant freedom from pain. What will happen to you? Different kind of moksha you will get. Yeah, another janma, what you will get into another janma only. Liberation and all you will not get. Therefore, preparation is a vital factor. See, when you go in the kindergarten, when they teach you ABCD, 1, 2, 3, 4, addition, subtraction, for what is all that? What is all that? A preparation, no? Unless that preparation is done, you can never come up to the higher path. The wrong word. It's not the preparation is lower path. If you have to come and if you have to get to moksha, stage number 1 is a preparation. Without preparation, whoever hears about this moksha, they straight away come and say, I want instant moksha. Just like the patient, telling the doctor, I want instant surgery. The doctor says surgery has to be done, but adukku munnadi 6 weeks of preparation has to be done. The field of activity is the preparation. It's a preparation and not to be compared with somebody else's. You have a field of activity and your moksha lies in that field of activity. As the first thing yajna conveys. Second thing is the individual. For what purpose he is getting into the field of activity? So the field of activity is set now. Are you clear? The field of activity is set. Don't get into, but as I said before, I'm just repeating again. Today, there is no reference to this field of activity at all. In fact, if you look at it, there is a collective mahat towards doing action which is not of their nature. Collectively, everybody is doing that. Adanala yaar team by pesave mudiyadu ipadella. You can't talk to anybody. You know it. You just keep it to yourself and just shut your mouth. In the class, if anybody comes and asks for any advice, no, do whatever you feel like doing. What you are doing is the right thing to. All that only we have to say. Why? Because the mind is constantly comparing. What is the comparison? Comparison as in the benefits, comparison as in the speed. Are you able to follow? Now, that doesn't help at all. That will not help you in any way. No seeker gets benefited that way. In fact, a seeker will not do this. A seeker is one who will not get into all this. So, he starts doing yajna karma. What is the yajna karma? First is my field of activity. Not to compare it with another person's. What is another person? I'm just using words symbolically. Yeah? I'm just using the words symbolically. Don't take it literally. The teacher wants to act like a business person. The business person wants to be a teacher. One fellow wants to do something else. That fellow wants to do this. Incidentally, everybody gets a material benefit. But what they don't get? That's why you find, irrespective of the field of activity, everybody is agitated. A person working in the bank is agitated working in the bank. A person working in the lab is agitated working in the lab. A person teaching in a school or a university is agitated at teaching. A carpenter is agitated being a carpenter. Yeah. Are you able to follow? Yajna karma says, first prepare the kund. Prepare the kundana, prepare your field of activity. And how do you know what is your field of activity? That which you are naturally gravitating to, where the material benefits is not of a big, concern to you. Number 3, carefully follow. This is the crux. You need not really worry about chasing the field of activity. Allah. Nature itself will put you in a field of activity. Where you are is best suited for your growth. So in that field of activity, bring in the principle of yajna karma. Are you able to follow? So in that field of activity that you are in, bring in the principle of yajna karma. This is in relation to the field of activity. Are you able to follow? What she is asking is, what Ranjani is asking is, I said speed. Speed means faster, instant result. What will give you chant the mantra? If we say, which mantra if I chant I will get instant moksha? Go to temple. Sir, in the temple I will get instant benefit. Supposing if we say this temple, in this temple God is powerful, na, what does powerful God means? Yeah. Kapaleshwar temple, Kapal is really powerful. Huh? I tell you, I have never seen a God more. My personal Kapali is extremely powerful. For somebody else, he will say, nothing is happening there. And Subramaniam is saying, I wake up in Kapali's face only every morning. No. Yeah, because he lives, he opens his eyes, he will see Kapali right in front of his eyes, but nothing happens. What it means is, this is what is known as speed. Wherever I am, that always looks the slowest, the worst position. Have you ever observed it? Wherever you are, you always believe that you are in the worst possible position, and nobody can be in this position. In the worst situation, nobody can be in, sir. Everybody says that. Yajna Kund brings Yajna Kund, changes this concept. It says your field of activity is the holiest. A sanctity comes in. Yajna karma, is it like every time I speak about this yajna karma, my hair stands on end. For sanctity vardha. When you understand that this is your field of activity, there is a sanctity to it. Otherwise, you always believe that your position is the worst and somebody is always in a better position. People tell me, sir, chinna vaisliye you went. I said nothing has happened. Even though we went at a very young age, also nothing has happened. Exactly the same. Only thing is what we know how to cheat people to make people believe that we know so much. Nothing else has happened. What is it? Are you able to follow? Wherever we are, we believe that we are in the worst position. That is why the other always looks faster, better. Like they say, no, the grass is greener on the other side. I have given so many examples so many times. You go to the restaurant and order food, and you look at the next table, that food looks more tastier than the food that you have ordered, no? And you ask the person who is serving. You call that person and say, what is that? We'll say, Ade idli sambar da sir. The same idli sambar is what is given to him also. But that looks tastier than you. Why? Because what is available to you, there is no sanctity to it. That's what Kund represents. What is available to you, accept it as divine sanctity. That is the starting point of yajna karma. Are you able to follow? Whatever is your field of activity, you need to understand it as holy. There is a sanctity to it. That is why they do lot of preparation, they do lot of purification. See, even today, you walk into an office, you clean it up first, no? Why do we clean it up? It has to be purified. It has to be clean. Why? It is holy. It is holy. It has a sanctity to it. Are you able to follow? But today, the biggest problem is your field of activity always looks, wherever you are, that position looks worst. And always somebody's position looks better. We are not saying don't aspire for growth Allah. That's not we are saying. That's not what Yajna Karma is saying. Yajna Karma is saying accept that where you are is wholly divine first. Put in your work with the aspect of divinity in it. Then you will grow better. As a housewife, the housewife says the worst thing is to be a housewife. Morning, nothing is done. The person goes to the office, says, office ku pona or boss sir, veetukku pona wife or boss. So we are only boss everywhere. We looks like we are the boss, but we are not the boss anywhere. So any position that a person is in, he or she believes that it is. They don't give sanctity to it. Preparing the field of activity is nothing but a worshipful attitude. What is that worshipful attitude? That field of activity that I am entering in is holy, has a sanctity to it. That's why in this culture we pray, we worship everything. Yeah. Why do we have to worship the spanner and the screwdriver? Because it has a sanctity. Not because it is aiding you. Please understand, not because that's a very, very cheap attitude. Not because it is aiding you, it is helping you. Supposing if it is stop aiding you, now you will stop worshipping. Huh? It's not that. The field of activity, that which is helping you in your field of activity is holy. So everything connected to your field of activity is holy. Everything connected to yajna is holy. Everything connected to karma yoga is holy. அதுதான் பிரம்மார்ப்பணம், பிரம்மஹவிஹி, பிரம்மாக்னோ, பிரம்மநாஹுதம், பிரம்மைவதேன கந்தவ்யம், பிரம்ம கர்ம சமாதினா. Everything connected to yajna is holy, sanctity. So when I take the broom and sweep, there is a sanctity to it. When I sit and give a Bhagavad Gita discourse, there is a sanctity to it. அதுதான் the field of activity. Then comes the offerer, the doer. The doer is bringing in his effort. The field of activity. Field of activity itself doesn't mean anything. No. All has to combine. What is the second thing? The doer has to bring in his effort. Yeah. What is the effort? What is the effort? The dedication, the sincerity, the effort. Understand, action involves a few, which we have discussed already. Already we have discussed all that. So all that if you summarize, you will understand what yajna is. All that if you connect, or varsala tanithaniya pesnadalla gets connected in yajna. What is action means? The offerer, the doer brings in the right attitude. What is the right attitude? He understands the field of activity is pure. The field of activity is pure. That's why you should understand every aspect of yajna ritual. First, he purifies the place, and then he purifies, himself, and then he purifies himself. That is why every ritual is started with the purification. And if you sit and see this Brahmins doing it, today it is not worth doing it, because there is no Brahmin doing anything, and even if they do, they really don't know what they do. Each and every organ they touch and they remind themselves of God. Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, every aspect of, so the external purification, the body is purified, and then the internal purification. Why so much of purification has to be done? Why so much of purification has to be done? This much of purification, if you do, you will understand at the core what is the dirt. Purification panna, you will realize what is the dirt at the core. What is the dirt at the core? Ignorance is the dirt. Even don't say likes and dislikes. Karma Yogi will say likes and dislikes is the dirt. If you go to the, you mature and go to the root, what is the dirt? Ajnanam, ignorance is the dirt. Ignorance is the dirt. In order to go to that root and understand ignorance as the dirt, you need to purify the external first. Yajna karma is an external purification. So by doing yajna karma, you purify. When you purify that which is available to you, you will start seeing the next layer of dirt. Yeah. When you start, if the whole house is dirty, you start sweeping and mopping. After you sweep and mop, you suddenly see things are not kept in an organized way. No? When the floor itself is full of dirt and all that, the other things you will not even notice. So when you do this, you start noticing the next layer. And then you purify that, you start noticing the next layer, the next layer. Yajna karma is nothing but a constant purification. Why we have to constantly purify it? Because it has a tendency to get dirty. It has the tendency to get dirty again and again. Since it has this tendency to get dirty again and again, purification has to be done again and again. A karma yogi will not reject it. A karma yogi will not get dejected. He will not say, also will purify. Very tiring, sir. I am frustrated doing all this. Straight away take me to moksha. Other greedy. It will not work that way. It's like the surgeon, it's like the patient going and telling the doctor, cut open, remove the surgery, cut open, do the surgery straight away. He will do the surgery straight away, but you will not be alive to reap the benefit of the surgery. Are you able to follow? So yajna karma is a purification. So what is the purification? The field of activity, you understand it as pure, noble, and then you purify. And then you purify yourself. And then when the doer is purified. The field of activity is pure. The doer is purified. The third thing is, as he is doing, another kind of dirt can come. Kartrutva can come. As he is doing, another dirt, Kartrutva can come. So he says, na mama, and he keeps attending to, that also. Ivlo dirt engend sir vandadunna Everybody created this dirt upon. Everybody created this dirt upon themselves, and now they have to sit and undo it. And you can't do it in a hurry. You can't speed it up. You can't do any short circuit. You can't find a shortcut. What is the easy path, sir? A karma yogi will not ask what is easy path. He says, what is the right path? What is the easy path? Greedy. What is the easy path? Greedy. What is the right path? How to pass exams. How to pass exams quickly. Quickly na bit adigla. Yeah. You can have a you can copy, you can do this, you can do. What is the way to pass? What is the way to pass faster and quicker? Faster and quicker, you are not a karma yogi. You are not doing yajna karma. So the field of activity is pure. He is made pure. He has purified himself, and while he is doing the act, he is bringing in the right attitude of namama. The havis also has to be pure. That which is offered into the fire also has to be pure. That is why yajna is a collective act. Purity means it is a collective effort. Havis is a product of collective effort. Havis is a product of collective effort. What does the collective effort means? You do your part, the husband does his part, the wife does his part, the wife does her part. When both are doing it, it becomes an yajna karma. Are you able to follow? So yajna karma, the purity to the grain, the purity of the ghee, the purity of the grain means recognizing it is a collective, recognizing that it is a collective effort. It is always a collective effort. Whenever we say collective effort, what you should be bothered about? You don't worry. A collective effort, don't start looking at others. The collective effort immediately what we'll start doing? We'll start looking at others and say, we start pointing fingers at the others. Collective effort means a recognition that everybody has to come in together, and individually everybody must understand that they have to put in their best. Okay, sir, I am putting in the best, but the next person, if the team is also not doing it, what will happen? It's a problem. Yeah. Always this problem we have. Yeah, team they say. Munadi family and we don't call it as family anymore. We say it is team. The team is not doing their thing, sir. What do we do? When did any team work together? Team nale there will be conflicting, diametric opposite interest clash only. Individually only you can bring in this. Individually you can bring in the right attitude. When you bring in this right attitude individually, what happens? What happens? Idda yajna karma. When you bring in your individual attitude, the purity and strength of your nobility will offset the negativity of others to some extent. That is the power of nobility. When you bring in a good fragrance, the foul smell to some extent is removed, no? That is where yajna becomes a loka sangraha. This is how yajna becomes a loka sangraha. You need not worry about you need not worry whether others are doing their part rightly or not. You need not keep worrying, pointing fingers at them. Even if you do it even if you follow the principles of yajna and do it rightly, your sincerity, your nobility will have an effect on the entire, what is known as the entire team. Ipo team nu solranga, they give new words they discover every week, no? They call it as team, the environment, not the environment of the total environment, the immediate, everything gets taken care of. Are you able to follow yajna? When everybody does it, there is a prasad. Final, the last thing of the yajna is the prasad. Prasad is distributed equally to everybody. At the yajna karma. When you bring in your, carefully follow, look at the yajna, the totality, look at the loka sangraha of the yajna karma. When you bring in your talents, when you bring in your talents, the talents will differ. But when the prasad is distributed, it is distributed equally. This sir communism madri irukudhu idu. Almost looks like this almost looks like a kind of communism. This is, yeah. We have so much of wrong knowledge about everything that very difficult is to give in the, what is it? Though your contribution is less compared to me, what is it that the higher does? He embraces the lower. That's why the prasad is distributed. The prasad is distributed equally. Nobody is asked how much you gave. This much you gave. Accordingly, it will be given to you. Then it is not. Then it is not prasad. Adu vandu illaya. You give 1,000 rupees garland for you. You give 100 rupees vibhuti for you. Nothing you give, you are chased out. Na? That is not yajna karma. You bring in, talents differ. Everybody will bring in different things. But the prasad, the effect of it is, that is why we say it is always done for loka sangraha. Whatever is done, let the benefit goes to everybody. They talk about the cows, the rains, this. Let it go to everybody. Yajna is complete. Yajna ritual is complete. Every day you start the day with the yajna attitude, and when you conclude the day, what do you do? What do you say on that day? Let the benefit goes to everybody. You will have a very peaceful sleep at night. Not only you will have a peaceful sleep that night, your vasanas gets exhausted. This is how yajna karma prepares. Are you able to follow? This is how yajna karma acts as a purifier. Yajna karma is the purifier. Purifier of what? Purifier of everything. It's a total purification. Because you started purifying everything, no? The field of activity is pure. The instruments that is used in that is pure. The ahuti is pure. The doer is pure. Collectively everybody is pure. When so much of purity goes into it, you bring in the right attitude while doing. When so much of purity goes into it, what will be the result? What will be the result? What will be the prasad? What will be the prasad? The prasad will be of two types. What is the prasad? The activity gives you prosperity. The attitude gives you moksha. This is how Yajna Karma Vedanta promises prosperity and peace. The field of activity offers you prosperity. The attitude brings you moksha. Therefore, this Yajna Karma takes care of your life here and also ensures that there is no further continuity also. In that way, Yajna Karma is the complete purifier. Brahman, 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 they keep saying. Why they keep saying Brahman, Brahman, Brahman? Because what is the ultimate purpose for doing all this? Ought to be the ultimate purpose needs to be reminded. The ultimate purpose needs a reminder. Therefore, fascinating verse. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnav, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Before this prayer, this verse 24 is chanted as a prayer before meals. Before they have the meal, they chant this. Because it's a yajna going on. It's a yajna going on. So that also has to be sanctity. There has to be so what it means is, even while enjoying the senses, you don't forget. While enjoying the senses, you don't forget Brahman. You don't forget Brahman while enjoying the senses. You don't forget Brahman whatsoever the field of activity, whatever be the activity, you don't forget. You get the divine. When you don't forget the divine, over a period of time, you will realize that you are the divine. Are you able to follow the connection? In the first stage, the reminder will be in terms of duality. At stage 1, the reminder will be in terms of duality, as though divine is something which is different and external from you, and you need to seek it and remind it and remind yourself about it. As you continue to do this, over a period of time, you will start realizing that you are divine. You are divine yourself. From verse number 25 onwards, he is going to give how to convert every activity into worship. From verse number 25, he is going to say how to convert every activity into yajna. Before we see how to convert every activity into yajna, we need to understand the complete ritual itself and understand every aspect of ritual is connected to our everyday life. That is how the attitude of yajna karma has to be brought into your everyday life's activity, not a separate sitting and. It's not a separate sitting and doing. That separate sitting and doing is a reminder incidentally about it. But it's not only that. It has to be inculcated in everyday activity, which is your field of activity. If you understand it in this way, then you will realize why Krishna is telling Arjuna perform yajna karma. Surely Krishna didn't mean call the priests and start one. Call the priest and start one havan in the middle of the battlefield. Surely he doesn't mean that. Yes.
And the fire kindling, the ritual purpose of fire kindling, and in other way also, like in every other field of activity, and the fire kindling, and the relevant.
The question that she's asked is about kindling. The fire kindling. In the traditional ritual, I'm doing a comparative study here. I'm not saying it as a comparative study. Mentally, you have to receive it as the comparative study. First, I talk about the actual ritual, then what happens to life. The fire is kindled. For the fire to be kindled and kept alive and the fire to shoot up, you need to offer ghee in terms of you offer half a teaspoon. What happens? How long the fire will be kept alive? Varave varathu. You pour half a liter. It stays for a longer period. Yeah. Even when you go to the stores nowadays, so funny. The store sells 2 types of ghee. Sir, yajna homathukku vena inda iduve edukonga sir. Adu konjam price is also very less that. Why? Because a lot of vanaspati is added to that. Sapati ghee na, that which you are going to eat na, that is expensive. Are you able to follow? So fire is kindled. For the fire to be kept alive and for the fire to be kindled, the ahuti has to be more. The ahuti has to be more. The ahuti has to be pure. Are you able to follow? That is for the fire. So more the ghee, more the offering, more the fire shoots up. When more the fire shoots up, even today, most of people, when they do yajna, they religiously believe only when the fire rises to 2-3 feet high, they believe that God has blessed, no? Yeah. Apartment la bhi pannave mudiyadhu, isn't it? They say the fire alarm will go and the whole place will be like. Now, are you able to follow? Fire kindled means fire rising, fire shooting. And when the fire shoots, the fire has to be, in the Mundaka Upanishad, if you remember the Mundaka Upanishad, most of you may not know that mantra. In Mundaka Upanishad, he talks about the types of fire. Kali, Karali, Cha, Manoja, Vacha. He says, one type of fire which is dark, not so bright, dull. He talks about the varieties of fire, the types of fire. Now the types of fire is dependent upon the types of fire, the quality of the fire. When I say type means the quality. The quality of the fire is dependent upon what? Dependent upon what you offer. What you offer and how continuous is that offering. You have to offer and you have to offer it continuously. Yeah. So you offer it and you offer it continuously. The fire is kept alive at this height. It means you are blessed. You are blessed all the time. Now equate that to activity. You need to be in constant activity. That's what is known as constant offering. What does it mean? You have to be in constant activity, constant action. Insignia of life is action. There is no such thing called rest. There is no such. You Ahuti ki rest kudta. What will take rest? What will take rest? Agni will take rest. Apro you have to restart. Ufun you have to restart all over again. Correct? Therefore, a continuous offering. Continuous offering means you are in continuous action. No Saturday, no Sunday, no Monday, no Tuesday. You are in continuous action. Adha yajna karma.
How is fire related?
If you have to keep the fire, if you have to keep the fire alive, which means the blessings alive. If you have to keep the fire alive means if you have to keep the blessings alive, what you need to do? You need to be in constant activity, and that constant activity has to be pure also. That's why in Mundaka Upanishad he talks about that the color of the fire. Beautiful verse. The color of the fire he talks about. The color of the fire is dependent upon what? Purity of the offering. Are you able to follow? So in life, if the blessings has to be kept alive, if the blessings has to be kept alive in life, what you need to ensure? You need to ensure continuous activity, and you also need to ensure continuous purity of the activity. Are you able to follow? When you do it that way, what happens? The fire is kept alive all the time. That's why the Veda says, wherever the fire is kept alive, there is moksha, it says. The Veda says, where fire is kept alive, moksha. Fire is kept alive, moksha, not the literal fire.
Fire no blessings.
Fire means where the blessings are alive, moksha happens faster. And how do you keep the blessings alive? How do you keep the blessings alive? You be in constant action. That is why a Swami doesn't take rest from action. A Swami is one who is acting all the time, 24/7. For there is no Saturday, Sunday for him. There is no weekends and weekdays for him. Why? Blessings happen more. Are you able to follow? Field of. So this is how you keep it. This is how the fire kindled is kept alive. Are you okay? The fire has to be alive. The color of the fire is the indicator of the purity of everything. The purity of everything. Everything ellame pure irundadundradhukku indication enna? Color of the fire. What is everything being pure? The field of activity is pure, the doer is pure, the ahuti is pure, everything is pure. The fire shines forth. Kali na dark fire. Patale bus yeah. Versus the bright flame. Yeah, versus the bright flame. And that bright flame is the color of the sannyasi. Ochre. What is ochre? What is ochre color? Not orange color. Ochre means the bright fire has the color. Okay, if you really want to know what that bright fire is, Bhaskar Ramurthy, disclaimer potrunga. If anybody practices this, at their risk they are doing it. Vedanta classes and Aravindan G will not take responsibility for this. Venkat. Venkat. Aravindan G will not take responsibility for this. What is it? If you want to know what ochre color is, stand in front of the sun and close the eyes and look at the sun. You will see a color. Have you ever tried it? Try it out. Tarandu vechinlam paakadinga, you will go blind. Stand in front of the sun, close your eyes and look at the sun. You will see a color. That color is the bright flame. That color is the bright flame. That color is ochre. That is yajna karma. This is yajna karma. Is it okay?
Flame or blessings?
Yes, the blessings. Flame, higher the flame, more the blessings is the belief. It means very I very much hesitate to use the word belief because the truth is that for the fire is, it shoots up high with a very high quality when everything that has gone into it is, pure and noble. Are you able to follow? Is it okay? Now Bala has a question. Bala says it's still not clear how past vasanas get automatically erased by currently doing yajna karma. Bala's question is, how does past vasanas gets automatically erased by currently doing yajna karma? The past vasanas is kept alive in the present by continuing to act on those vasanas. The vasanas comes from the past. You keep it alive in the present by acting on those vasanas. So in yajna karma, what are you doing? You are not acting on those vasanas anymore, as a result of which the vasanas gets eradicated. It's a very good question. He's saying vasanas comes from the past. How yajna karma of today erases the vasanas of the past, for which you need to understand how you keep the vasanas alive. How do you keep the vasanas alive? You keep the vasanas alive in the present by acting on those vasanas. You keep your likes and dislikes alive. You keep your desires alive in the present by continuing to act on those desires. In yajna karma, what are you doing? In yajna karma, you are restricting the vasanas to the field of activity alone. Are you able to follow? The past vasanas is accounted. How is it accounted? The past vasanas is accounted by allowing it to manifest, by allowing it to express as in the field of activity. Having gotten into that field of activity, you no more act on those likes and dislikes. Having gotten into that field of activity, the purpose is clear. What is the purpose? The goal is not the fulfillment of likes and dislikes. The goal is moksha. That is how the past vasanas gets eradicated by the current, by doing yajna karma in the present. Is it okay, Bala, till now? Yeah. The second clarification that he is bringing is it not true that an individual need to face the consequence of past action? Is it not true that the individual needs to face the consequence of past action? The individual has to face the consequence of the past action. He has to face it. That is why when he does yajna karma in the present, when the prasad is of a negative, when the result is negative, he takes it as the prasad. It means he understands that though I am doing yajna karma in the present, I am facing some consequence from my own past, and I gracefully accept this also as prasad instead of complaining, crying. Instead of complaining, crying, I take that also as prasad. That is why in life we say you may do the right action, and sometimes the fruit may not be in the way that it ought to happen. Why? That is because of a part of your past is playing its role. Instead of crying about it, instead of complaining, instead of self-whipping, a person takes that also as prasad and continues to do yajna karma. That way what happens? He is exhausting the consequence of the past action also by experiencing it. Wherever he has to experience, he is experiencing it, and when he experiences it, he has the right understanding behind it. So he is not escaping from the consequences. It is not an escapism from the consequences. It is developing the right understanding to face the consequence. Are you able to follow? It is developing the right attitude to face the consequence. Otherwise, I have a wrong notion about the consequence. I say, I don't deserve this, sir. For my things, I should not have gotten this at all. For what I should have gotten, he has so much of complaint about so much of complaint, so much of bitterness, so much of disappointment, everything about the result. Therefore, Yajna Karma says, no. Even though the fire is shining and still you are experiencing something negative, means you are after developing the affordability to treat the disease, you are getting the disease. Again, I repeat, after the disease comes to you, after you having developed the affordability to treat the disease. So what do you understand there? Are you able to follow this example? Yeah. Another thing is, disease is there and you can't even do anything to treat it. Now, the consequence of yajna karma, what it does is it prepares you that way. What is the preparation? The disease will come to you, but you are well prepared to deal with it. This is how yajna karma is a complete action in itself. That's why orthodoxy, the Vedas, the Vedanta, all great masters have an extraordinary value for this yajna karma. Why? Because so much goes into this yajna karma. Is it okay, Bala? Oh yeah, he has written. It's okay. Very good clarification. Is it not true that an individual has to face the consequence of the action? Yajna karma is not an escapism from that. Yajna karma is not saying you will, I'm giving you a shortcut to escape from the consequence. It says, if you have to experience the consequence, you will have the right mental attitude to experience that consequence. Ashtavakra accepted it rightly. He never had any problem. Are you able to follow? Otherwise, we constantly have problems, no? The type of nose that I have, the type of voice that I have, the type of eyes that I have, the type of body that I have, all that is the consequence. Yeah, my nose should have been better. My eyes should have been better. My eyebrow should have been slightly more. This thing, my ears must be slightly. All this is what Ashtavakra gracefully accepted it. So he never had any. Are you able to follow? I'm just taking it to the extreme. I'm just taking it to the extreme and explaining. Opposite of that is whatsoever is given to you, there is a bitterness about it. There is a complaint about it. What is the complaint about it? எல்லாம் கரெக்டா கொடுத்த கடவுள் அந்த மூக்கு மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் இப்படி ஆக்கிட்டாரு. So go and do the plastic surgery and make it. Once that nose is made erect, suddenly you will realize how the cheek is not aligned. And then you align the cheek, then you realize your shoulders is not. Now you go on correcting it this way, nothing will Nothing gets corrected. Yajna karma is something, there's something which is extraordinary is this yajna karma. From verse number 25 onwards, he is going to say how to convert every activity of yours into a yajna karma. One of the, we have entered the most, I won't say the most, one of the fascinating portions in relation to action. The fascinating portion in relation to knowledge is the first half of the chapter 2, and the Siddha Prajna portion. The fascinating portion in relation to Karma Yoga is this portion, Yajna Karma. Here, how the Yajna Karma, every aspect of the ritual is connected to everyday life. So we say this Yajna is a symbolic representation. Symbolic representation means it has its own sanctity. National flag has its own sanctity, no? National flag has its own sanctity because it is, so anything that represents the highest has its own sanctity. That is why we don't say it as a superstitious ritual, no, we don't say. It has its own sanctity. We will not say national flag as a piece of cloth, no? See, national flag is piece of cloth only. You can say that also. Oh, why? What is it? Anyway, it's only a piece of cloth. In the Constitution will say you will be put behind. It will say. So there is a sanctity. So that why. So we have a sanctity to the actual ritual. Also, we have a sanctity. Why? Because till this date, this ritual has kept this knowledge alive. Till this date, this ritual has kept this knowledge alive. Therefore, even the ritual has a sanctity. Even the ritual has a sanctity. Just as the cloth has a sanctity the moment it turns into a national flag. Newspaper also we worship because it is also a source of knowledge, you know. That is why we stamp on a newspaper also we go. Why do we do that? Newspaper is not time pass. Newspaper is knowledge, information. So there is a sanctity to that. Are you able to follow? So in that way, yajna karma, there is a sanctity even to the very, there is a sanctity to the very ritual, and the very sanctity is because of the understanding behind it. If a person is not making an effort to understand it, it becomes a mechanical, superstitious ritual. Example, saluting the national flag and doing anti-national activity. Swamiji's example. Saluting the national flag and doing anti-national activity, he has not understood. So, mechanically holding on to calling it a sanctity has no meaning. The ritual has a sanctity because till this date, in future also it is going to carry this knowledge, and anything that carries a knowledge is holy, is sanctity. Not only that, the sanctity is because the knowledge that backs it. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnav, Brahmanahutam. This is the first sentence. Now the second sentence is very clear. By seeing Brahman in action, Brahman verily shall be reached by him. The second part of the sentence is very clear now. Because if you do action in the first way, automatically what will happen? You will reach. Brahman verily shall be reached by him. Brahma karma samadhina, by seeing Brahman in action, Brahmaiva thena gantavyam. Verily that fellow will reach Brahman by seeing Brahman in action. By seeing Brahman in action. And what is seeing Brahman in action means? Brahmarpanam, Brahmavihi, Brahmagnav, Brahmanahutam. This is seeing Brahman in action. When whoever sees Brahman in action in this way, very soon reaches Brahman. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. That fellow will reach Brahman very soon. Whoever sees Brahman in action. And what is seeing Brahman in action means? Everything, all put together. What is seeing Brahman in action means? Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam. He is seeing Brahman in action. Anybody who sees Brahman in action in this way, Brahma eva gantavyam. He will reach the state of Brahman very soon. With this, we conclude verse number 24. From next week onwards, we try to continue the yajna portion, the 12 yajnas, where we try to understand how to convert every activity into worship.